All right. Live fans. We are Facebook Live. Are we? What's that over there? Okay. Make sure here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We in there. Let's see. Okay, there we go. All right. All right. Ready to start my theme music in a second here. Wait a minute. Let me get on here. All right. Get everybody in there. Hmm. Coming up, man. Okay. Don't worry, we got you, though. Okay. Let's do like this. Mm-mm. Oh, not showing up there. Okay. Okay, we're live there. And that is, let's take a look here. All right, now you don't hold me up, y'all. Damn, I wish you love. All right. Yeah. Okay. Uh-oh. My Terry is live now. Okay. We live. I'm not sure what's in here. There we go. All right. Get my party started. Start that. All right. Hold up. Okay. Let me get it started. Get some invites in here. Okay. Okay. Share. All right. Gotta get home early. Gotta get ready. Yeah. All right. Ready to get my theme music going here, y'all. All right. Who's my baby, Sherry. I see you, baby. All right. That's one of my favorite Facebook cousins. Yes, indeed. Okay. Oh, I gotta get my theme music on, y'all. Wait a minute. All right. What is it? Okay. the music on. Turn my mic up. Get my folder open. What's this? Significance of June 10th. PSD. Those of us that know it, intellectual violence, use of measures of investigation, use of change of profession. Good morning, my children of the sun. Welcome to the Open Eye. I'm your host and third eye optometrist, Patrice Gibbs. Oh, I'm looking at myself on Facebook Live here. Wait a minute. Got to set a good example. Where is it? Oh, Lord. Oh, there it is. Got to set a good example for the people. My man being here, somebody already been on the mic. Got to get my face mask on. Give me a second. There you go. All right. Welcome to the Open Eye. It's Saturday, 11:07. Excuse me for being a little late, y'all. Had to get my thing together. Got in here a little later than I planned to, but it's all good because I'm here now. That's right. And you know, if I'm here, you know what that means. That means I got something for you. Oh, do I got something for you? Look, I'm not even going to waste no time. I'm going to get right started here. I'm going to get right into it. Okay? Let me tell you something. With all the stuff that's been going on, there's been a lot going on with the protests, the police killings, some things that we're going to talk about later, of course, the corona. Look, let me tell y'all something. When y'all hear these protests, please remain safe. Keep your face mask. The corona ain't went nowhere. Corona over in the corner saying, yeah. That's what's going to say at that white supremacist gathering that they had the nerve, the plan in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Tulsa, Oklahoma, are you out there? Somebody on Facebook in Tulsa, Oklahoma catching my show? Tell them fools, wait a minute, let me fix my camera. All right. Tell them fools out there, or them brothers and sisters, excuse me, I don't need to call y'all fools. Don't let them get off with that. Maybe you should, because it's going to be a big turnout of these white supremacists in Tulsa, Oklahoma for the Orange Disasters Klan rally. The hell it is. It's campaign. But don't let them have it in peace anyway. You know? Come for the speech to be with corona. That's what them fools out there going to do. Because, you know, they don't like wearing face masks. And they've been out here all spring. And part of the, well, we're just getting into summer. Protesting against wearing face masks. See, this is how big of idiots they are. Who in the hell protests against your own health? Kind of mess is that? But that's what these fools are doing. All right. And like I tell you, listen, don't be discouraged by the white media's ongoing depictions showing only black buffoonery. Yes, there has been some black buffoonery at some of our rallies, at some of our protests. Okay? Had the young lady, the stripper, out there shaking her thing in front of the cops, you know. Oh, she looked good, and I ain't mad at nobody for looking at her and enjoying the beautiful sight that she was. But there's a time and place for everything, and that was not the time and place for her to get out there with that mess. Okay? Yeah, it might have been a distraction, might have kept the cops. Another thing, let me tell you, don't let them split us. I'm going to talk more about that a little later. Don't let them split us. Okay? Because now what has come up is part of these protests have been, what do you call that? The transgender people have declared that all Black Lives Matter. We don't need to say all Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. When the race soldiers run up on you, they don't give a damn if you transgender, single gender, bender, or whatever it is the hell you doing. don't mean a damn thing until the race soldiers. My man Nsoromma just walked in.
Yeah,
brother.
Good morning, man. Yeah, I'm very good. You know what I'm saying? Listen, man. They always try to put other people's agenda on top of ours. You know what I'm saying? I'm really tired of that. It ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Stay in your lane.
That's right.
And this is what's going on. It's a Black Lives Matter period thing.
That's it.
I'm really tired of these. You hear about the alt-right?
Oh yeah. And the boogaloo?
Alt-right racist, supremacists. These are hell Trump. They hiring hell Trump.
Yeah, like hell Hitler.
Yeah. I mean, they always try to distract what's going on with the black people in their cause to do what it is that they need to do to make themselves better. They always add things that's irrelevant to our cause.
That's what. Now I'm gonna tell y'all something. You know, like I said, don't get mixed up by some of this buffoonery going on. You know, and don't let people distract you from the main goal.
Right.
You know, it's a demoralizing illusion. There are millions of conscious black people all over the world, and more awakening every day. Don't get it mixed. Now I know we got some new listeners because I recruited some.
All right. Yo, what's up, everybody? I told you tune in too. So the audience is really working. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm hearing a lot of good feedback on the show.
Yes, sir. Now, for those of you that may not know what we're about, let me break it down for you.
Break it down, brother.
The speed of communications is wondrous to behold. It is also true that speed can multiply the distribution of information we know not to be true. In the current 24-second news cycle, information reaches the masses at blinding speed. Unfortunately, this information is often poorly researched and filled with falsehoods and misinformation. This leaves us with an uneducated, uninformed, misled, misinformed community. Mainstream media is completely corporate owned. Has become nothing more than really stenographers and mouthpieces for the powers that be. Rarely exploring or investigating anything beyond what they're told. Mainstream journalism has really become a joke. The joke is fair and balanced reporting. Unfortunately, it's a joke on the uninformed community. I simply cannot accept, this is a quote from Edward R. Murrow, journalistic hero. I simply cannot accept that there are on every story two equal and logical sides to an argument. Can't accept that. There are 1,500 newspapers, 1,100 magazines, 9,000 radio stations, 1,500 TV stations, 2,400 publishers, owned by 3 corporations. Welcome to the open eye. Let me tell you what the open eye is about. The open eye is about keeping your vision clear. The open eye is about well-researched, accurate reporting, and honest, fearless social political commentary free of corporate influence. That's right. Fearless. Because we ain't afraid of no damn body.
You can come if you want.
Our community must have information not based on emotionalism, sensationalism, or manipulation, but information that is well analyzed, clear, and concise that will educate us. We must control the propaganda that reaches our community. So join us every Saturday, 11 a.m., right here on WHGE 95.3 FM.
To get your food for thought. You dig me?
Dig. Now, tell you something, bro.
What's happening, brother?
You know, one of my Facebook cousins, as I call them, Sister Tracy Johnson. I often take quotes from Sister Tracy Johnson.
Right.
Because she really kick it. I gotta.
What's up, Tracy?
Yes,
shout out to Tracy.
Yes, indeed.
Where's Sherry at?
Sherry in the house.
What's
up?
My
favorite Facebook cousin in the house.
Yeah. Shout out to everybody tuning in. Definitely.
That's what
I know.
I'm gonna give this quote from Sister Tracy Johnson. She says, "Speaking loudly about injustice discrimination, prejudice, institutionalized racism does not equate to being racist. The threat of being called racist because you're vocal and want meaningful change and not just lip service has now been equated to being divisive. These are labels and tools used to silence our voices. These are means to intimidate us into continuing to accept the status quo. My actions and words have never reflected hate. So the threat of my outspokenness being interpreted as something it's not will not silence me. Big ups,
sister.
Big ups. Big ups.
I mean, we have to stand up. We have to stand up. I say we have to fight black. You know what I'm saying? Not back. We have to fight black. And what I mean by that is, you know, we have to fight more smarter.
My man, Nsoromma on the open eye. They go, Michelle, bro.
Yo, Jacoby, Linwood, Anno, what's up, y'all? Thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned. We get ready to get it popping. You hear me?
Brother Vaughn in the house.
What's up, Vaughn? Hey, y'all got any questions? Hit us up. Yo, let's get this conversation popping right.
Yeah. It's the Mary Douglas Bailey.
What's up, Mary?
Mr. Stephen Beach, Tila Roberts. In the house. That's word. All right. All right. Now I'm gonna get you this. Okay. Yeah. That's My City by Nsoromma.
That's right. Nsoromma - topic YouTube. Listen now.
Yes, indeed. You know, I gotta hit something about my city.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You know, 5 shootings this week.
That's right, man. That's crazy.
You know, as if we ain't got enough dealing with these race soldiers.
But I'm saying you shooting each other when the gun should be pointed to the opposite. You know, whatever. Yeah. But I ain't saying go kill people. But I'm just saying we gotta stop killing ourselves.
You know, start policing our communities instead of tearing them up. That's word. You know, I know the underlying causes of the violence and this, that, and the other. But I will tell you that I am also a great believer in self-responsibility. Brothers taking self-responsibility.
And sisters.
That's where.
Sometimes it'd be a fight or a jump off or a killing, all because this guy talked to this girl and that girl told her dude, and now it's a killing. Mm-hmm. So the sisters got to be careful on what they say and how they represent themselves also.
And how they behave and who they deal with.
Right.
That's where it is.
Everybody's got a responsibility in this situation.
That's where, because what goes on in the dark comes to the light. And I'll tell you. Like I said, you know, we understand the underlying causes and what have you.
Right.
You know, and that's part of the reason that I deal so much with our history, so that we understand how we got where we are.
A lot of people don't really realize that our history, don't really take our history serious either.
No.
They're trying to erase all the things that they did to us to make themselves look better in history. But they always going to be murderers.
Yeah.
To me.
Now, yesterday was a celebration of Juneteenth.
And break that down. What does that mean to some of the people who don't know?
Yeah, okay. I mean, Juneteenth is the celebration of the actual freeing of the slaves. The Emancipation Proclamation was declared in 1863.
Right.
Now, of course, the Emancipation Proclamation only freed slaves in rebel states, in states that had seceded from the Union.
Right.
Those states that stayed in the Union, like Delaware, were able to keep their slaves.
Right.
One of those succeeding states, one of those slave states, was Texas.
Mm-hmm.
But Texas, the slaves in Texas didn't find out until actually after the Civil War in 1865, June 19th, 1865.
A whole year later?
Yeah, damn near 2 years.
2 years later?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah. You know, and up to that point, until the Union Army arrived in Texas,
Right.
to actually free these people, they were enslaved. So our actual Independence Day is not July 4th. It is June 19th, 1865.
Okay, gotcha.
Now, this year, Juneteenth has been celebrated on a level it hadn't been since before World War I. Okay, with states and state and city governments all over the country declaring Juneteenth a holiday.
Right.
Even the Orange Disaster got in on it, of course.
He always do manipulative things to stay in the light, and he's what you call him? What you say?
The Orange Disaster?
No, the TV show. Hold on.
Reality star.
Yeah, he a reality star.
That's all he is.
Yo, listen now.
That's all he is.
He was so dumb. This is how dumb he is.
Mm-hmm.
He was so dumb that he gonna plan something on Juneteenth and then try to say, okay, well, I ain't gonna do it, and now I'm gonna make this day famous because I didn't do that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, that's what he's telling people now.
Yeah, I made
Juneteenth famous. Ain't that all?
I mean, this guy, man, he is the worst, man.
Yeah.
The worst is that I mean, I can't see how you, a human being, and feeling and understanding what he's doing to the human race. That is baffling to me.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
Absolutely is.
Wow.
You know? Well, something else that I deal with our history is peonage and black codes. Peonage.
And black codes.
Yes. Okay. In 1866, 1 year after the 13th Amendment was ratified, the 13th Amendment officially ended slavery. Okay. Officially outlawed slavery. Alabama, Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Georgia, Mississippi, Florida, Tennessee, and South Carolina began to lease out convicts for labor. That's what peonage is.
Is that legal?
Well, it was then.
I mean, they still doing that right now.
Pretty much.
You see prisoners on the road and all kind of stuff like that. So they still leasing them out.
Still going on.
So that's the new slavery, which they switch from letting them go free to locking them up to put them in slavery.
Let me break that down for you.
All right, break it down.
Right. This made the business of arresting black people very lucrative. It still is.
To this day.
Which is why hundreds of white men were hired by these states as police officers, race soldiers. Their primary responsibility was to search out and arrest blacks who were in violation of black codes. Once arrested, these men, women, and children would be released to plantations where they will harvest cotton, tobacco, sugarcane. Let me tell you about harvesting sugarcane. Okay? Harvesting sugarcane
is one of the hardest things to do.
It's one of the hardest jobs.
That's worse than cotton, ain't it?
Worse than cotton, worse than tobacco. See, that's why in the islands, when there was slavery in the islands, the worst thing was to be on one of those sugarcane plantations.
Wow.
You died young. All right? You died young. They would be released to work in coal mines and railroad companies. The owners of these businesses would pay the state for every prisoner who worked for them. It's prison labor. It is believed that after passing the 13th Amendment, more than 800,000 black people were part of the system of convict leasing peonage, or basically re-enslavement through the prison system.
Wow.
Peonage, as a rule, ended after World War II around 1940, or that form of peonage, the way they were doing it then. And this is what happened. The 13th Amendment declared that neither slavery nor involuntary servitude,
right,
except as a punishment for crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted shall exist within the United States or any other place in their jurisdiction. Now, did you catch that? It says neither slavery nor involuntary servitude could occur except as a punishment for a crime. See, lawmakers use this phrase to make petty offenses crimes.
Right. And these officers are really overseers.
Race soldiers, bro. When blacks were found guilty of committing these crimes, they were imprisoned and then leased out to the same businesses that had lost their slaves after the passing of the 13th Amendment.
Right, and that's just the slickness that they do.
Right. You know, the majority of white Southern farmers and business owners hated the 13th Amendment because it took away their free slave labor. So to appease them, the federal government turned a blind eye,
which is the highest slave master.
When Southern states used this clause in the 13th Amendment to establish laws called black codes.
Black codes. You ever heard of that? Have you ever heard of? I have never heard of black codes, and I'm older. I'm 50. You know what I'm saying? Out of my 50, I ain't heard of none of this.
Let me tell you. Let me give you some examples of black codes. In Louisiana, it was illegal for a black man to preach to a black congregation without special permission in writing from the president or the police.
The president of the United States got to give this black man permission to speak to. Now, how is that possible? You can't even get in close enough to even get to the president to get a letter of permission. That's, I mean, you have to really think about how devious these people are, man.
If caught, he could be arrested and fined. If he could not pay the fines, this is where it will get deep, which of course were unbelievably high.
Right.
He would be forced to work for an individual or go to jail or prison where he would work until his debt was paid off. And they could take his wife and children and put them in the labor to help pay off the debt.
Wow. Now, what my thing was when Obama was in office, why he didn't go after these type of things as a black president to abolish them, to amend them. I'm not understanding. His presidency didn't do anything for our people from what I'm seeing. I mean, that's just get me so upset. You know what I'm saying?
Well, of course, by the time Obama was in office, we're talking about, you know, these are in the late 1800s when this kind of stuff.
But laws still exist right now, right?
Well, it evolved. See, you got to remember, these are cunning people.
Right.
So it evolved. Right. So corporations like
the pharmaceutical companies, all the big names that run in the government,
they will come to these prison, you know, to these state prisons or to these states and say, we're going to give the prisoners job skills. We're going to teach them how to assemble computer parts. We're going to teach them
how to put numbers on license plates and all the things in the state.
All the stuff that they wouldn't hire them for when they was on the damn street.
Right.
Okay. We're going to teach them how to do these certain things, how to count the pills and what pills and how to identify the pills. Oh, that served some of them well, didn't it? Because you got out of jail and you knew what was the difference between a Percocet and a Xanny, didn't
you? That's they learn it. They don't know. It's
So during these days of the black codes, if a black person did not have a job, he or she could be arrested and imprisoned on the charge of vagrancy or loitering. This next black code will make you cringe. In South Carolina, if the parent of a black child was considered vagrant, the judicial system allowed the police and or other government agencies to apprentice that child to an employer, and they could be held until they was 21 years of age if there's a female, until they were 18. They only had the legal right to inflict punishment on the child for disobedience and to recapture them if they ran away.
My thing is, okay, these black codes, who Who can black people sue for the making up of these black codes to even exist? Who can they go after in Congress and up in the White House? That me as a black person, I want to sue the people for doing this to me. Now who do I attack?
State government.
That's right. Now you put your paperwork in. If every black person in the world that feels like I feel, go put paperwork in to sue the United States government, we get some type of response from them.
Yeah. Now, let me tell you one of the black codes that I often talk about that a lot of people don't know about that really just hurt me to my heart.
No, that.
The laughing barrel.
The laughing barrel? See, I never heard of that. You gotta put me down. Put me down.
Put you down. If you were walking in one of these southern cities, Montgomery, Alabama, Biloxi, Mississippi, what have you, they have barrels on the street. And if you as a black person, something struck you funny, so that you did not give a white person the impression that you were laughing at them, you were to go stick your head in that barrel and laugh. How you like that?
Yeah.
How you like that? Ain't that something?
Listen, man.
I'm on the radio, almost said it.
I have to say that them people was crazy, man.
Yeah.
They was crazy.
Absolutely.
Still is to me.
Still is.
Yeah, so I'm like, certain stuff I know I wouldn't survive back then because of my rebelliousness, so I know I would have been either hung or dead, so it wouldn't matter to me because I'm going to take 2, 3, 4, 5 of them with me, you know what I'm saying, kamikaze style, because I do not care, and that's what it is. I'm holding a lot of rage for all my ancestors that got pulled, thrown, and drowned off of the Amistad. The Amistad movie hurt me, so just that little bit of information and me saying the way we were treated, I'm on go right now all the time. So,
and you know what? I got a couple of friends that still ain't seen movies.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, certain stuff, some people ain't supposed to watch because they can really turn into the terrorists and, the opposite person that they want to be. You know what I'm saying?
Noble is brought to you by the Delaware Center for Homeless Vets, the founders and builders of the Pearl Center, Delaware Center for Homeless Vets, changing veterans' lives all over Delaware.
Mike, what's good? GG Joe, I see y'all tune in. Yeah, ask some questions. You got some questions? Give it up. Don't be scared.
Donald Cooper, my cuz on there.
What's up? What's up?
That's word. What's up, Don? Yeah, buddy. I thought I played the disclaimer.
We thought we played the disclaimer? Nah, it ain't running.
Let's see this
The views and opinions expressed on the Open Eye are those of the host, guests, and contributors and do not reflect the policy or positions of WHGE.
And I was saying, when you get ready to go to your disclaimer and stuff like that, go to that first, hit it, and let it cut you off. Let it start talking. You know what I'm saying? Then you just stop while they talking. Don't put a gap in it. Hit it before you. Yeah.
WHGE 95.3 FM, the Open Eye.
Yup.
And a little more history for y'all. Now I tell them, look, these people were cunning, all right, and we still suffer from some of their cunningness. Empire builders use divide and rule. The strategy of divide and rule was central principle of the British Empire policy for more than 2 centuries. By keeping different ethnic groups segregated and allowing them to squabble amongst themselves, the idea that they would be too tired to overthrow their colonial masters was prevalent. As empires expanded, tribal groups were classified on the basis of language, religion, and ethnicity, and given different rights. A toxic example was in Rwanda, where Belgium segregated the Hutu and the Tutsi tribes. The lighter-skinned Tutsi were given land and privilege, while the Hutu were made to do labor and work. After the Belgians withdrew, ethnic divisions led to the massacre of 900,000 Tutsis by the Hutu. In India, rivalries began between warring states and religious groups were exploited by the British. But in the months leading up to independence, the division spilled over into violence as the subcontinent split into predominantly Hindu India and Muslim Pakistan. Okay, I bring that up to bring up that we get divided.
That's their strategic way of separating the masses from uniting against them.
That's right. You know, I dealt with it coming up. And now you would have thought by the time I came along in school in the 60s and 70s that I wouldn't have to deal with it. Because my mother dealt with it, and she was in school in the 30s and 40s. Or the 40s and 50s. Well, yeah, well, the 30s and 40s. Okay? My mother was brown skinned with long, pretty hair.
Mm-hmm.
So she was treated differently by the dark skinned, shorter hair girls in school. By
Right.
the teachers, by black teachers.
Right.
Okay? Another division that we get caught up in. Muslims and Christians. Okay? Muslims consider themselves enlightened and look down on Christians. Christians consider Muslims
Terrorists.
the terrorists and products of the devil and
Right.
this, that, and the other.
I mean,
What did I tell y'all in the beginning of the show? Okay? Now, I have family members who are gay. Okay? And I can't divide them based on that. Because when them race soldiers roll up on you, they don't ask you if you Christian, if you Muslim, if you straight or gay, if you from the islands or whatever. If you got
who you vote for?
who you vote
None
for,
of that.
none of that. All they care about is you black. And that's what they're gonna base
Clunk, 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 clunk,
upside
kill.
your damn head.
Right.
And that's what they're gonna base their treatment on of you.
And what I realize now is the reason why you're hearing a lot of our people being killed by the police officers is because a lot of the police officers know that they get paid more money when you did.
Oh yeah.
And they don't get in trouble for killing you.
No.
So,
Just,
what would you rather do? Do the paperwork on this black man, or I can just get rid of him and not worry about it and just brush it off? Jay-Z brush his shoulder off,
Right.
like. So, I mean, we got to understand what we're dealing with and the kind of power that they're trying to say that these people have over us.
That's right.
And
see, I know some people are getting excited because some arrests and some charges have been brought down, but don't get too excited yet until convictions and actual punishment is brought down on
not only convictions, but the law has changed. You want the law to change, not them to get convicted and the law still stay the same. And they can then their nephew can come and make up for their or their son can come and make up for their, oh, okay, I'm gonna handle it from now on. No, we want to get rid of the laws that they say that they think they have over us to be able to do that.
That's right. That's right. You know, symbols are very important.
Right.
Okay. Because they influence you psychologically. All right. And as I went through school, you know, the symbols that we were forced with and forced to look up to and taught to look up to, of course, were the symbols of the founders and this, that, and the other.
They were all symbols that really degraded us. That's the way I felt. You know what I'm saying?
Now, you know, what they say is America, love it or leave it. And don't be so quick to condemn the founders for slavery, which was just a flaw and not as significant as the liberty they framed that makes America great. GTFOH. Get that. Are you kidding? Washington, Jefferson, Madison, and as well as Stonewall Jackson and Robert E. Lee, these men were monsters. They treated people worse than pets. They kept people enslaved for generations, worked them to death, raped and brutalized men, women, and children. As bad as we think slavery was, it was a lot worse.
You can't imagine, unless it's done to you, how slavery was.
That's word. You know, now I heard some of our people, you know, and I call them Negropeans, and they said, you know, we can remove the flags and statues all day, but until we figure out how to remove the hate in people's heart, nothing will change.
That's right.
Well, you know what? You can't reform a white supremacist. You can't reform someone who is in their DNA. And this comes from their scientists.
Did you ever see the movie American X?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, American X, it was this white racist Russian dude who ended up, you know, some black dudes broke into his house and trying to rob him or whatever. And he caught one of the dudes and ended up taking the boy out to the curb and opening his mouth and putting his teeth on the curb and then stumping the back of his head. That's something that they do to black people. Now, I'm going to say that again.
Okay.
He took and opened the guy's mouth up and put it on the edge of the curb and stumped the back of his head.
Lord. So that drove his teeth up into his brain and all
that. I'm just saying, okay, he gets locked up for the incident. And when he get in jail, who he need to help save him? A black man.
Ain't that something?
Now the black man saved him.
That's who we are.
Right. The black man saved him. And then after all of it was over, he realized that black people wasn't like what he was taught when he was little.
Yeah.
And now the black person is his best friend. I'm lost with the fact that these white people that is put in this situation that don't know, don't go to try to find out for themselves about if I want to feel racist to these people or not. You know what I'm saying? They just install it in their kids and say, go get them.
Right. Yeah. Yes, they do.
And the kids don't take responsibility themselves to find out if their parents was right in that situation. And that's who I hold liable for right now.
For that behavior.
Right.
You know? Now, you know, like I said, some people will find this egregious and racist. But let me tell you something before I go into this. What I'm about to share with you, the knowledge I'm going to give you, comes from their scientists. Understand.
Remember that this is not us. This is them.
This is them. So here's the thing. Remember when they had that unveiling of Nefertiti on the news?
Okay.
And they pulled it was it was supposed to be
Nefertiti. What we looked like.
Yeah. It was supposed to be a scientific DNA reconstruction
of
Nefertiti.
Right. Yeah. I remember that.
Thing off is so much shit.
But I'm saying that's just how media can say. If media say, yo, it's gonna rain today. If every newscaster say it's gonna rain today and it's promoted as it's gonna rain today and don't no rain come. How do you feel about that?
That's word. Now, having lived in Egypt, I know that her actual face is carved on her husband Pharaoh Akhenaten's temple. Nefertiti was black. She was a black woman. There were no white humans in Europe until long after most of the blacks that were there fled the monstrous, savage Neanderthals and returned to Africa. Some stayed and tried, this from their scientists, some stayed and tried to tame the savages and mated with them and tried to civilize them. The Neanderthal human mutations could not be civilized and remained hunter-gatherers. The problem was the Neanderthal human mutants, like their Neanderthal ancestors, had calcified pineal glands. That's your third eye. And thus could not produce melanin. Thus, they were genetically inferior with weak immune systems and susceptible to disease. Like most fur bearers, Neanderthals feared fire and ate raw meat. Eventually, they died off. The Neanderthal human offspring bred much of the Neanderthal out and could no longer compete with wild animals in the manner their savage parents could and sought higher ground for protection. many gathering in mountainous areas like the Caucasus Mountains. However, these offspring still had calcified pineal glands and could not produce melanin, remain genetically inferior, and their taste for blood and savage nature has barely been tempered to this day. The Caucasian oppressed, murdered, and they war on each other for centuries until they came into contact with other societies, and then they oppressed them. They war on them. It is in their ancestral bloodlust. It is their DNA. New studies on genetic finds that Africans are the only 100% pure human, and all white people share Neanderthal DNA. According to 2 new studies published in the journal Nature, that's a mainstream academic publication, that looked at DNA fossils hidden in the modern human genome, Africans are the only pure homogeneous human species, and the Darwinian evolutionary theory does not apply to African people. These studies are also revealed that people of European descent today retain Neanderthal DNA that affects their hair, skin, fertility, predisposition to certain diseases, and other characteristics. According to the study, Europeans' white skin, various eye colors, and recessive animalistic type hair are direct genetic traits of the Neanderthal DNA. That's from their scientists.
Right, we didn't say this.
Good, I'm sorry, bro.
I said we didn't say this.
No, we didn't say
this.
this.
We didn't. No. This is their scientists.
This is their scientists. This is their scientists. See, you never know what in the hell you're going to learn when you come to the open eye.
That's right. WHGE 95.3 FM.
The open eye.
Yeah.
That's what
wow, brother, that was some real good information right there.
Yeah,
so we the only ones that's 100% human, and they trying to say we the ones that's not human.
Right.
Now you gotta see the flip in that. This is what they tell their people. This is what their scientists is telling their people, and their people is in turn flipping it, going, nah, we can't say that. We gotta tell them that they ain't even human.
That's right.
We treat them like that. Right. We
that we weren't supposed to know that.
Wow.
Let's make some money.
Yo, Cooter. Yo, GRB. Tommy Guns. What's good? Dana, I see you. That's right. Share. Get this good information, spread it around. You know what I mean?
Yes, indeed. All right. Jeez Louise. Joaquin, big ups, brother. Thank you, brother. He said, trust is science.
That's right. Get him.
Yes, indeed. We trying to, brother.
That's right. You can't tune in right now when we live on air. When you get off work, yo, come tune in, share, and put your comments in, because we always go back through and look and listen and look at all our comments that's left. So for the next show, we can talk about what it is that you may want to be talking about. So don't be scared to put it down.
What? WHGE 95.3 FM, the open eye. We still going through it. Oh, we still going through it. You know, Denver. Police held 3 black children at gunpoint. Handcuffed the unarmed father when he came out there and said, what in the hell is going on? Why are y'all pointing guns at my children? And, you know, the officers were responding to a 911 call that falsely reported that there was a black man with a hoodie in the parking lot of this store.
Okay. Did all 3 of them kids have on a hoodie?
None of them.
Okay, then why you messing with them?
Why you messing
exactly, and that's what I'm talking about when it comes to these race soldiers and these overseers.
Right.
I mean, we have to be able to. The father shouldn't have went out there and said anything. He should have went out there and asked for the badge number, and also made sure his kids was okay, of
Right.
course, and then was like, okay, I want to see your supervisor because right now I'm need some a witness to know that this is happening.
Yes.
So, boom, you get that supervisor there, and then you put your lawsuit in against that person
That's
and
right.
the police
And
force.
the police
You
force.
put 2 lawsuits in,
Yeah.
and that's what you do.
Yeah.
And you take all of their stuff.
Yep.
You
That's
know what
right.
I'm saying? And
Get the money.
right, you get the money. You make them broke. You make them
Mhm.
poor, like they think you are.
That's
You know what
right.
I'm saying?
Yeah, that's right. You know, now some of some of white America is looking at this and saying, you know what, we can't keep on like this. In Boston, the mayor declared racism a public health crisis.
That's right.
This
Now,
is the second mayor that did that.
so I'm saying if racism and you look at the Muslim as terrorists and racism is not, you can see the injustice right there,
Right there.
right from the gate. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
indeed. That's word. You know,
At least Muslims have causes that they doing it them.
Yeah.
They responding from causes. They ain't just waking up going, I want to go bomb
Mhm.
America. No,
Mhm.
America did something to them for them to come over here.
Yes, indeed.
Exactly like they doing to us.
Right.
So, in
You
turn,
know,
let's
hey,
get them.
hey, you know. Now the Louisville officer who fatally shot Breonna Taylor after 3 months ago has been fired. Okay. The police chief wrote that he found his conduct a shock to the conscience. He said we was alarmed and stunned that he used deadly force in this fashion. Who was the Louisville Mayor Greg Fisher said one of the Louisiana Metro police officers who killed Breonna Taylor is being fired. It's been more than 3 months.
Right. I mean, these people need to take action immediately.
Mhm.
And that's what I mean. I mean, he got 3 months still in serving. How many other people he do like this within them 3 months?
That's
he was
right.
still on the force.
You know
what I'm saying?
They did put him on administrative leave and take his gun after this match. Who was the officer's name? I got it here. Brett Hankinson. Unfortunately, due to provision in state law, you know, both the chief and the mayor were precluded from talking about what brought this moment about. Now, what I think brought it about is, yeah, they're planning on charging him with murder. Just like,
I mean, they can charge him with it and all that, but that don't mean he's going to get the time. It
Right.
don't mean that they're going to go through with it.
That's right.
You could best believe they go through when a black person does something, they get locked up.
Mhm.
Period. The next day.
That's right.
And fired or whatever the next day. There's no white time
Mhm.
that they call white time to get okay, get your life together, because no, there's none of that for black people. So,
Oh no. Well, you know what the holdup is on charging these race soldiers is, and we have the same thing here in Delaware. We have on the books, in the law, a bill of rights for policemen. So this protects these race soldiers when they do these killings.
But that was designed from the official overseer
Mm-hmm.
pattern
Mm-hmm.
of control.
Yes.
And that's what I'm saying.
Yep.
And when Obama was in office, I mean, why he didn't attack them type of things?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not understanding that.
Yeah, I heard
How
that.
can you be a black president and not attack the black issues of America?
Worse than not attacking them, he tried, what was it, the Blue
He want to help
Lives
them.
Matter law. He's
What about the Black
into
Lives
law.
Matter? That's what had me so messed up. But I'm saying, I know when you in situations, you got 100 race soldiers behind you, and they whispering in your ear, "We can get you anytime." The N word. So you gotta keep your family safe. Yeah.
Right, I understand that too. Now, the brother that was shot in Atlanta at the Wendy's.
Wow.
Okay.
Why do they always come to the scene? And if it's black, they use deadly force, and if it's white, they use a taser, or they don't even they'll run, chase you down, let you beat them up, and all that as a white person. But as a black person, as soon as they pull up with kids, the first thing they do is grab a gun, and their lethal weapon. I'm saying, how is that
Why is that the case?
Yeah, why is that? And
Because
how
we
is that?
are
And why
at
is
war.
that?
Well, two things. One, understand that we are at war, okay? And when they roll up on you, they're looking to escalate the situation so they can kill you,
Right.
okay?
That's what I'm saying.
So when you get caught behind enemy lines, you have to be strategic and keep your wits about you. You know, I mean, and that's hard to do. You know, that's hard to do when
Right.
you're
When
dealing
you being disrespected and
right,
you know.
and you feeling threatened and what
Right.
have you. And who wants to get cuffed up and go to jail? You
But
know?
that's what I wouldn't even say I'd rather go to jail, because in jail, did you see him beating up the guy in a wheelchair?
Yeah.
And I mean, he handcuffed in
Yeah.
a wheelchair, behind his hands
That's
behind
right.
his back, and
Yeah.
you got 6 officers beating him like he's crazy.
So it's understandable that no one wants to get cuffed up and then really, you know, behind enemy lines with
Right.
these race
Then they take you in them private rooms and
You
cut
know?
the camera off and do what they want to you,
Do
and
what
then
they
cut the
want to.
camera back on, type
You
of
know?
stuff. And then when you go burn that house up and blow up their buildings where they sleep at, you the bad person.
Right. The
Wow.
thing is, you got to remember, as soon as they roll up on you, you are behind enemy lines, and you got to remain calm. You got to understand that you are a warrior in this. And as a warrior, I'm telling you, as a veteran of the military, name, rank, and serial number. My name, and that's it. You want to arrest me? How do you want to arrest me?
Right.
You want the cuffs in the front or
I'm
the
not
back?
gonna argue with you or answer your questions. I'd rather go
That's
talk
right.
to the judge, because
Yep.
you're not the judge and the jury out here.
And you are
But they
not
act
gonna-
like they are.
Right. You are not going to pronounce sentence on me
Right.
here on the street and execute me.
Right.
So how would you want to put the cuffs on, the front or the back?
Right.
You can go ahead and settle this in court right now. I'll talk to my lawyer. You know? Now, this officer in Atlanta who killed Rashard Brooks in the parking lot has been charged with murder. Okay? And
His family should be locked up too.
you know, now it's one thing that he shot the man, but just to show where this white supremacist race soldier's mindset was. After he shot him, he kicked him in the face.
Get out of here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, because he just got off work, wanted to get a sandwich. He just pulled a 25-hour night, and he tired, and he stopped at Wendy's to get a sandwich, and you pull up and you fall asleep. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
Wendy's call the cops on a person fall asleep. Why you couldn't knock on the window, yo, my man, wake up? You know what I'm saying? Here go your food.
Right.
And then you can pull off or pull over there and sit in the parking lot and go to sleep.
No.
They should have burnt the Wendy's thing.
You know what I'm saying? That's word. So, like I said, don't get excited yet, y'all, because he got arrested for murder. Until he's convicted
Right.
and executed.
We want
because they are
convictions.
calling for the death penalty.
We want
on this one.
convictions on these officers that's
Yes.
doing that. We want convictions and death penalties.
Yeah.
And death sentences and life sentences, I mean.
Yeah.
We want the same that they do for us, for them.
And like I said, don't get excited yet. Okay? Now check it. Because these things are going on, because the protests against police brutality are going on, the police are now feeling victimized.
Did you hear about the police throwing all their handcuffs down because they can't put the black people in the chokehold?
Yeah.
I'm mad.
I'm telling you.
I'm hot about that. Every one of them police officers that put their handcuffs down, each one of their cases, all their cases, each one of them should be reinvestigated because they are white racists.
That's right.
Even the black people that put their are white racists.
That's right. Don't get it mixed. Like I always tell you, don't give that pigmentation no consideration while he in that uniform.
Right is right and wrong is wrong. Period. There's no in between that.
Police officers all across the country are quitting their jobs
because they can't choke a black man.
Because they can't choke out a black man.
Now how
you know? Once again, I gotta go to Sister Tracy Johnson. She kicked it for us.
Okay.
She said, police officers currently quitting their jobs, we hear you loud and clear. If we can't kill you unjustly and say, I fear for my life, I don't want this job. If I can't kick in the wrong door and shoot you in your sleep, I don't want this job. If I can't shoot you in the back and be later found justified, I don't want this job. If I can't enter your home and shoot you while you're on your couch watching TV and not get a lesser charge than other citizens, I don't want this job.
Right, that's crazy.
If I can't randomly stop you as you go about life while being black and treat you like a criminal, I don't want this job. If I can't taser you, beat you with a club, or shoot you while your hands are up, I don't want this job. In short, if I have to recognize your humanity and all the rights that entails, I don't want this job. We hear you loud and clear, police officers, race soldiers.
They ain't even police officers. They're
That's what I'll call them now.
overseers, overseers and race soldiers.
They're race soldiers
Out in our neighborhood and patrolling our neighborhood and killing our kids. That's got to stop.
That's what.
Period.
You know. Now, we would think that in this day and age, Billie Holiday's song "Strange Fruit" would no longer be relevant.
Well, it is.
Well, it is.
They hanging black people left and right, right?
All of a sudden, black people are hanging themselves from trees in public.
I ain't never ever in my life heard of 5 black people hanging themselves.
Yep.
Back to back.
These are not suicides.
Out of my 50 years.
You know?
Never.
These are not suicides. These are lynchings as the nation protests racism.
And this race media have the nerve to incite suicide and write in suicide and promote suicide. That's the control of media that they have.
That's a crap.
But you can put me in Facebook jail for putting up a real picture of history, a real historical picture. I mean,
they would have you think. Now listen, something I didn't get to, but I'm going to tell you this. Protesters, listen to me. This is why it's important you know history. After the Civil Rights Movement, as the Black Power movement was waning, white America actually got scared. And they started giving concessions to Black America in the early and mid 70s. Things had opened up. We had shown our talent, but we backed off because some of us got comfortable and complacent. Take a lesson from that. Now is not the time to back off.
That's what Queen Latifah and Ice Cube was saying. Don't back off now. It's on the run. Stay on their neck.
That's
like
right.
They stayed on a boy neck.
That's right.
Straight like
Stay
that.
on their neck. Because power conceives nothing without demand. Understand that. And let me tell you something. For those of you that fall into, well, you know, all this going on is our fault, and just say, hey, ain't nothing wrong with you. Wake up. There's nothing wrong with you. You have patterns to unlearn, new behaviors to embody, and wounds to heal. But there's nothing wrong with you at the core and who you are. You are unlearning generations of harm and remembering love for ourselves. It takes time.
That's right.
And as I always tell you, destiny determines who enters your life, but you decide who stays. Therefore, value those who value you. And don't treat those as a priority who treat you as an option.
WHGE 95.3 FM. Open eyes.
I'm Patrice Gibbs.
I'm Nsoromma. Yaga! Yo, thanks for tuning in, y'all. You know what it is. Open Eye Radio, my homie.
That's the glad we go open your eye. So be sure to join us because I got some more for you all the time.
Next Saturday, 11 to 12, Open Eye Radio 95.3 FM. Yaga!